Hello, everybody. Week number 9, your 5-week challenge and my master plan to conquer the world. So here, you'll learn about this mini challenge that will contribute to your 100-day goals and far beyond that. So here's what we're going to cover. Your 5-week challenge, mechanics and prizes. My master plan to better this planet. One mindset shift to live an awesome life. And the bigger game you're playing. Dito muna tayo, your 5-week challenge and the bigger game you're playing. So last week, week number 8, nag-recap tayo. We discussed na for us to have an amazing transformation, yung nakikita talaga sa salamin, sa photos, yung pwede natin i-post, ipagmayabang, hindi lang dapat maging consistent. We also need to make continuous adjustments. Kaya ang challenge na ginawa namin para ma-reinforce to is this. The 5-week challenge will focus on 2 metrics. The first one, yung habit scores natin, yung online spreadsheet. And the second one, metric number 2, is our progress rate. So magkaiba yan, depende kung cutting ka or bulking ka. Yung napag-usapan natin na 1%, 0.7 weekly weight loss pag cutting, ang bulking naman 0.5%. Diba yun yung idea natin? So doon tayo magbe-base. So discuss natin itong una. Metric number 1, habit scores. So ganito lang naman siya para maintindihan ng lahat. If the individual gets a perfect score, he or she gets 2 points for that week. Ayan, yung mga maka 105%. So makakuha sila ng 2 points. Next, if the individual doesn't get a perfect score but stays in the green, he or she gets 1 point for that week. So yan, yung mga 97, 95, up to 80, up to 76 ata. So yan, 1 point makukuha yan. And last, if the individual gets red, below 75%, he or she gets 0 points for that week. Okay, clear naman to guys, no? Let the coaches know lang if medyo malabo or may need i-clarify. Pero yan, madali lang naman to. Move tayo sa next. Progress rate. So depende sa goal, if cutting or bulking ka, magkaiba sila ng progress rate. So sa cutting, nababawasan, while sa bulking, nadadagdagan. So ito yung pointing system natin. So pag cut, if the individual's weight loss is 1% para sa lalaki or 0.7% for women and above for that week, he or she gets 2 points. Okay, pag nahit natin yung ideal weight loss weekly target natin and above that, makakuha tayo ng 2 points. Next, sa cut pa din, if the individual's weight loss is 0.5% hanggang 0.99% for men, kunwari hindi siya umabot ng 1%. And then, sa women naman, pag 0.5% to 0.69%, pag di siya umabot ng 0.7%, yun yung ideal, di ba? He or she gets 1 point for that week. Okay, clear yun? Again, ito yung ideal natin, 1% above for men, and women, 0.7% above. Pag kinapos kayo dyan, 1 point lang kayo. Okay, itong range na to. Next, if the individual's weight loss is below 0.5% or she gains weight for that week, makakakuha siya ng 0 points. Okay? So pag below kayo dito sa 0.5 o kaya nag-gain kayo ng weight, ibig sabihin nun, wala kang score for that week. Okay, gets yun? Kasi nagka-cut tayo eh. Pag kinapos ng weight loss for that week, ibig sabihin, hindi ka nag-adjust masyado. O kaya pag nag-gain ka ng weight, diba? Nagka-cut ka pero nag-gain ka ng weight, then that means hindi nasunod yung mga actions na magko-contribute dun sa weight loss. Okay, gets so guys? And girls? Ayan yung saka. Dito naman tayo sa bulk. If the individual's weight gain is 0.4% up to 0.6% for that week, he gets 2 points. Or he or she gets 2 points kung may bulking ng women. Okay, so maliit lang yung range ng bulking. 0.4% to 0.6%. Bakit nga? Kasi sa bulking, dapat dahan-dahan lang. Okay, so next. If the individual's weight gain is 0.1% up to 0.3% for that week, kinapos siya ng 0.1, then makukuha niya lang 1 point. Okay? Gets? And lastly, sa bulk, if the individual's weight gain is over 0.6%, kunwari nag-over ka dito sa limit ng 2 points, and under 0.1% for that week, kinapos ka dito sa 1 point area, makakuha ka ng 0 points. Kasi ang goal ng bulking dito sa ideal range na to. Okay guys, clear ba to? Sa mga naka-cut at sa naka-bulk? Type nga sa chat if clear, and if not, pwede rin kayo mag-type sa chat para masagot ng mga coaches. O kaya lista muna yung mga questions para sabay-sabay yung i-ask later on. Kasi baka masagot dito yung mga questions nyo. Marami pa tayong di-discuss. Okay, next natin. The pointing system above isn't fairly applicable to the opposite extremes. Ano yung opposite extremes na yan? The obese and the very skinny / lean individuals who are doing a cut. And with that, we will adjust the scoring according to your condition. So we will create a post in the Kaizen group, and we advise you to comment there if you think you're in the opposite extremes camp. Like for example, if you're in the skinny fat side and feeling mo sobrang payat mo na, and yet you're still doing a cut kasi malaki pa yung nakukurot mo dito sa belly, instead of aiming for 1% weekly weight loss target rate, pwede natin babaan yun, gawin natin sa 0.8% lang. On the other hand, if you're on the obese side, overweight side, mataas talaga yung body fat, tataasan naman natin yung target weight loss mo week to week, since it is much easier for you to lose a percentage of your weight every week. So magpo-post kami sa group, then comment kayo doon if you think you're in this two sides of the extremes. So hindi nyo naman kailangan mag-post ng pictures nyo, ha. Comment lang kayo doon, then the coaches will assess your situation. So for women, si Coach din ang mag-assess sa inyo. And reminder lang, huwag kayo mag-comment doon to have your condition checked. So ayaw natin punuin yung thread na yun na, Coach, pa-check ako kung ganyan-ganyan. If you're not sure, then it means nasa normal range ka. And ito yung susundin natin na pointing system. Okay? So ito, para mas mag-gets nyo, bigay ako ng examples. So examples ng lean, skinny, yet still doing a cut. Si Romar. Payat na siya, may abs na, pero nagka-cut pa siya kasi gusto niya sagadin. So same with Les. The previous season, nagka-cut pa rin siya niyan kasi may nakukurot pa daw siya. Gusto niya, wasak na wasak. Same with Igo. And sa girl, si Joey. Diba, sabihin ng iba, payat na ni Joey pero nagka-cut pa rin si Joey. Kasi gusto niyang alisin tong mga nakukurot na fats. Okay? So obviously, kita naman natin na gano'n sila ka-lean, diba yung condition nila, and yet, patuloy pa rin sila nagka-cut. So probably, mababa na yung calories nila, mayat na sila mabawasan, hindi na madali sa kanila yung pag-hit ng 1%. So sa kanila, i-adjust natin yung pointing system and lower their target weight loss week to week for this 5-week challenge. So if you're in this camp, kung nag-resonate ka sa katawan nila, sa condition nila, comment lang kayo doon sa ipopost namin sa Kaizen group. So next, examples of high body fat / obese. So si DM, si Joseph, si Ram, and Romar nung nag-start pa lang sila sa Kaizen. So they were not just quote-unquote fat, pero nasa obese side sila. So if you're in this position, i-adjust natin yung pointing system to increase your target weight loss every week. Since obese people can lose more quickly than average individuals. Okay, clear yun? Next tayo. But what if you're only semi-lean? Hindi ka sure. Parang may abs na ako, sobrang payat ko na, pero ano kaya to? Kasama na kaya ako dun? So kung semi-lean lang, hindi pa super lean, hindi pa super skinny, if that's the case, then the normal pointing system is still applicable to you. So ang ideal weight loss pa rin is 1% weekly. But there's an exception here. Kung ganito ka na, semi-lean ka na, and you came from an overweight, mataas talagang body fat mo, dami mo na na-lose. So ito exception. Pag semi-lean ka na, and you're not losing weight anymore at 15K steps at 1,000 calories and below. So if that's the case, then yes, possible, i-adjust natin yung pointing system mo. Comment ka na lang dun sa thread na ipopost namin sa Kaizen. Okay? Nagets yun, guys? So may mga tao dito na mababa yung metabolic rate nila due to history of dieting. So possible na, kunwari, itong guy na to, ang laki ng nulus niya, let's say nakalus na siya ng 50 pounds, 70 pounds. So hindi pa siya ganun ka-lean, pero probably na pwedeng umabot na siya dito sa numbers na to and hindi na siya nag-lose ng weight. So yung mga ganung cases, again, ito yung condition. Kunwari, 15K steps ka na, tapos nasa 1K calories range ka na lang. Ayan yung mga conditions na magsasabi na, yeah, sige, adjust natin yung pointing system. Okay, guys? Clear to? So recap lang natin, ang gagawin nyo lang, 1% for men. Ayan, tatargetin nyo lang pag-cut kayo, 1% for men, 0.7 for women, para makakuha kayo ng 2 points. Sa bulk, 0.4% to 0.6%. And yung mga outliers, yung mga outside, mga nasa opposite extremes, yun nga, comment na lang kayo dun sa thread na ipopost namin sa Kaizen. Okay, so ito pala, take note pala dito. Kasi itong sakat, nakalagay dito, if the individual's weight loss is 1% or 0.7% and above for that week, ibig sabihin, pwede kang mag-lose, pwede naman pala above for that week, pwede ako mag-lose ng 5%. Maka 2 points pa rin ako. So yun lang, reminder lang, don't do stupid shit. Ano yung mga stupid shit? Yung mga hindi ka nakakain para lang manalo dito sa challenge. Parang, hindi na ako kakain. Mag-fasting ako ng ano. Ilan ba yung 5 weeks? 21, 35 days. So yung mga ganun, reminder lang. Don't do stupid shit. Yung mga drastic weight loss. Ayun, pahalagahan pa rin natin yung protein natin. Kasi ang ending, ang gusto naman natin, maganda itsura, hindi lang naman weight loss. Right? And don't worry, I get you, I hate math as well. So kung nalilito ka, these are the only things you need to remember to get really high scores and win the 5-week challenge. The first one, execute your habits daily and aim to perfect them every week. Okay, lalo yung group participation, yung impact, yung comment, takeaways, Friday wins. Next, if cutting, aim for a weight loss of 1% for men or 0.7% for women per week. If bulking, aim for a weight gain of 0.5% per week. So how to do that? Adjust your calories and or activity week to week. Tandaan lang natin yung consistency, execution, saka adjustment. And of course, encourage your team to do their best and make the necessary adjustments. Kasi 5 weeks lang naman. Saka may premyo yung mga mananalong groups. Okay guys, malinaw naman, no? Ayan, nasabi ko pala. And for you to get a perfect score, complete mo lang tong online trackers natin. And don't forget, itong row ng section ng systems thinking. Always engage sa community, comment your takeaways, wins, magpa-form check kayo, attend yung coaching call, participate, and give value and inspiration to the Kaizen group. And reminder guys, may way kami to track the activities, your activities dito sa Facebook natin, may data yan. So, yun nga, #integrity. Kung dinadaya mo to, hindi naman kami dinadaya mo, yung sarili mo. Okay guys, okay to? Ito lang yung way to get perfect scores sa leaderboard natin. And regarding adjustments, ganito lang gagawin natin. Tandaan lang natin yung right sequence for making adjustments. Step 1, WCAA. Step 2, tape measure. Gawin natin every week. Step number 3, adjust calories via food intake, adjust calories via activity level. And we do this every week. Ayan, ito yung discuss natin sa last week. So weight loss is slow stock despite doing everything. WCAA, tape measure, adjust calories, adjust steps. Adjust either or both until you hit 1% for men, 0.7 for women, weekly weight loss if cutting, or plus 0.5% weekly weight gain if bulking. After 5 weeks, the top individuals in the top groups who score the highest based on these two metrics, sila yung mananalo. If you don't get the perfect habit score, huwag ka malala. Huwag ka rin magalit agad dun sa, sa teammate mo. Huwag tayo ma-discourage kasi dalawa naman yung metrics. Okay, pag hindi na ako perfect dito, pwede naman bumawi dito. Okay? So, hindi naman, may scoring system kami na tinatake into account lahat. Hindi lang ito, hindi ito mas mataas, hindi ito mas mataas. Okay, so pag hindi kayo nakakuha ng perfect dito, okay lang yun. May chance pa rin kayo manalo as long as pumawi kayo next week kasi 5 weeks naman ito eh. So ayusin natin yung adjustments natin. Question, paano kung may tayo sa scores ng top individuals after 5 weeks? Ang magdedetermine is yung progress rate. So hindi lang siya, pero siya yung isa sa kasama. If scores are tied for the top individuals after 5 weeks, the deciding factor will be the overall results made by the individual. Which includes, ayun nga, progress rate, yung total weight loss, weight gain, consistency sa rate of progress, and clue, yung impact sa buong community. So yun yung magko-comprise ng overall results. So medyo tricky part kasi ito, kaya naglagay ako ng additional clause dito. In case that an extreme tiebreaker is necessary, the Kaizen team will look at other objective factors to determine the winners, and we will make sure that our decisions will be based on fairness and integrity. And I hope you're okay with this. Ang dami kasing pwedeng i-consider. So to make this simple, ito na lang yung nilagay ko. Okay? Okay lang? Again, huwag tayo malito ha. Ito lang yung tatandaan natin. Execute your habits daily and aim to perfect them every week. If cutting, 1%, 0.7%. If bulking, 0.5%. So paano gagawin yan? Adjust tayo ng calories sa kanang activity natin every week. Yan, emphasis. Week to week. So magiging aggressive tayo sa adjustments. That's how we get incredible results. Yan, punta naman tayo dito sa prices. Note lang dito sa prices, iba pa to dun sa ultimate prices natin after 100 days. So ito bonus lang to. Extra pampagana lang. So prices for the top individuals and groups. O lahat ng mga pabilang dito magkakaroon ng 20% discount for the next season's enrollment. O sino-sino naman yung mga kasama dito sa top at ilan sila. Ito yung breakdown yan. So 16 individuals ang pwedeng manalo dito sa 5-week challenge natin. So madami-dami yan. And ang breakdown nito, itong 16 na to are this. So top 8, men, yung mga nagka-cut. Then top 5, women, yung mga nagka-cut din. And then top 3 sa men na nagbabulk. So men lang tong bulking kasi wala pa naman tayo, or very, very few yung women na nagbabulk. So ito yung 16 na yan. Pag nakapasok ka dito, automatic, meron kang 20% discount for next season. The next one, ang makakakuha naman ng additional supplements and other goodies are these people. So yung papasok sa top 5 sa men cutting, top 3 women cutting, and top 2 sa men bulking. So saan kinuha to? Dito lang din. So huwag kayo mag-alala, during 5-week challenge, magpo-post tayo ng parang leaderboard, or nandoon siya sa leaderboard natin. Makikita naman natin scores natin and yung ranking. Next tayo, last, all the members of the top 2 groups will also get 20% discount and 1 session of group coaching with Mentor Carlo or Mentor Bogs. Okay, goods kayo dyan? And later on, good news sa end ng season, if you will make it sa week 15, may chance pa kayo madagdagan lahat niyang discounts na makukuha nyo. Okay, sa galingan natin, kapit lang, kayang-kaya natin to. O bonus, meron pa pala tayong bonus. Bonus for the top 10 individuals and top 2 groups. So sino yung mga yan? Yung mga nandito sa pangalawa at sa pangatlo. So ano yung bonus? Magkakaroon kayo ng free photoshoot with Igo. So, thank you, Igo, for offering this. Si Igo yung madalas na picture sa akin. Ako yung pinagpa-practicean niya. Ayan. Another. O siya yung nag-picture sa akin yan. And siya yung nag-picture yan, sa mga clients, Kaizen clients sa previous season. Group photos. Ayan, yun yung mga kinuha na niya the previous seasons. Nakaka-excite, di ba? Oh, ito amazing. Creative shots. Ito yung Team Squammies. And the Kaizen team. Ayan. Puro Kaizen yan. So you won't just get this, but also that. So again, thanks Igo. Galingan nyo guys kasi baliwala ang libreng photoshoot kung hindi ka naman magiging confident sa progress mo. So galingan natin lahat. Nakaka-excite kaya yan. Next question. Paano pag hindi ko na-hit yung 1% or 0.7% weight loss sa first week? Pwede ko ba gawin target yung -2% or 1.4% for next week? So parang dodoblehin mo yung ano mo. Kunwari, week 1, hindi ka umabot ng 1% sa lalaki. Ang ginawa mo, week 1, hindi ka nag-lose ng weight. So 0% ka. Pwede mo bang gawin, doblehin mo yung weight loss mo for next week? So buy naman, ganun din. Kunwari, 0 ka dito, tapos ginawa mo 1.4% next week. So pwede ba yun? And my answer to that is this. Taking into consideration the possibility of water retention during dieting, especially for women, we'll be giving 2 weeks max to catch up with your target weight loss. So this only applies to those who are cutting. So simple answer, yes, pwede yun. Pag di ka umabot ng target weight loss mo, pwede mong mas taasan yung weight loss mo for next week para ma-offset yung kulang mo. Okay, gets yun? So let me briefly explain yung ano yung water retention. So pag nagda-diet kasi tayo, or ginagawa natin yung workouts natin, kakardio tayo, nag-steps tayo, yung cortisol natin or stress hormone, tumataas siya. So the longer that we've been in a calorie deficit phase, pataas ng pataas yung stress hormone na yan. Kaya nangyayari, our body's tendency to hold more water, tumataas din. So pwedeng sa week 1, even if we're losing fat or losing weight, if our stress is high, pwedeng hindi siya mag-reflect sa weighing scale. Na nag-lose na tayo ng fat inside, pero yung water naman na hinuhold natin, tumataas din, di ba? Hindi siya mag-reflect dun sa timbangan. Kaya bibigyan namin kayo ng until the second week, the next week, para makaka-catch up. But then again, this only applies to those na nasa cutting phase. Okay ba yun, guys? Nag-gets nyo ba yun? Okay, ano lang naman, simple terms. Pag hindi mo nakuha yung weight loss this week, bawi ka next week. Taas ang lalo. Kung ano yung kulang, i-add mo dun sa next week. Okay? So why are you doing this, coach? Bakit may 5-week challenge pa bukod dun sa 100-day challenge natin? Wala ka bang magawa? So ang reason ko for creating this 5-week challenge is alam ko kasi marami pang andito sa dip stage. So ang goal ko dito sa mini challenge ito, is hawakan yung kamay nyo, yung mga nasa dip, even virtually, para hatakin kayo papunta dito sa star. Gusto ko kayo bigyan ng extra push, kaya nag-iisip ako ng ways kung paano kayo mapapaabot dito sa autopilot stage where everything becomes easier. Kasi ang pinaka gusto ko talaga mangyari is hindi masayang yung first 50 days mo, first 60 days mo na nag-i-invest ka sa good habits. Kasi pag andito ka na, let's say, umabot ka dito, tapos nag-quit ka, babalik ka na naman ganun. Sayang. So yun yung reason. Nag-iisip ako ng ways para madala ka dito sa kabilang side. Para makabuild ka ng good habits para mapunta ka sa autopilot stage at makatawid ka dito sa day 100 and meet your version 2.0. So you can have even better results and win your own challenge. More than what we produced sa previous 100-day challenge. I'll share ko lang sa inyo, my personal challenge during the first official launch ng Kaizen. Ang challenge ko that time was to make at least 5 of the Kaizen students in the top 20 of the MF challenge. Ito yung 100-day challenge na nangyayari every year. Nag-start siya dun sa isa kong program na Minimalist Fitness or MF na tinatawag. So yung time na to, it was a bit scary for me. Kasi alam ko nagbayad ng mas mahal yung mga nag-Kaizen. So feeling ko, I had to deliver even better results kumpara dun sa MF. So may pressure talaga sa akin as a coach. And the reason for me wanting them to make it to the top 20 was so that I could prove, not just to anyone, but more importantly to myself, that building a great body is more fun, more effective, and more fulfilling if paired with personal development. And it's really the transformation that will last. I want to let people be aware that pursuing personal development is always a winning choice, kahit sa areas pa ng buhay yan. So ganyan yung nasa ulo ko that time, parang ganito yung idea, Kaizen versus MF. So 500 members, that time parang 200 pa lang versus 13K. So ang dami kasi magagaling dito sa group na to. And I wanted to challenge myself as a coach. I wanted to prove na yun nga, na mas malupit yung mga magiging results pag sinamahan ng personal development at hindi fitness lang. Kasi dito, purely fitness lang to eh. So that's my goal again for this season and all the Kaizen seasons that will come. And not surprisingly, na-achieve namin yung goal na yun. Kasi that time, yung 100-day challenge that time, dinominate siya ng Kaizen people. Ito yung top 5. And ang sobrang amazing doon, sa top 10 ng 100-day challenge, 8 yung nakapasok from Kaizen. At yung champion natin, yung Champ RJ, second placer, fourth placer, fifth placer ng MF challenge, lahat sila nasa Kaizen. And ang original goal ko lang, makapasok sila sa top 20. Pero lahat ng Kaizen people, lahat ng nanalo, lahat na nag-top sa 100-day challenge were from Kaizen. So congrats to us. Then the next MF challenge came, ganun ulit nangyari. All the winners, the top 5, even the whole top 15, galing sila sa Kaizen. And this has become the standard. So gusto mo lang manalo sa MF challenge, gusto mo lang manalo sa 100-day challenge, mag-join ka lang ng Kaizen. Kasi the results that you can get from this program versus do-it-yourself programs, ang layo ng gap nila. Plus others more who went all in. Top 20. Do it yourself. Gusto mo lang 5, even lahat na second papasok for top 20. So 5, even gusto mo lang manalo sa mag-join ka lang ng Kaizen. Kasi pag-join ka, gusto mo lang manalo sa MF challenge, gusto mo lang manalo sa 100-day challenge, mag-join ka lang ng Kaizen. Kasi the results that you can get from this program versus do-it-yourself programs, ang layo ng gap nila. Plus others more who went all in. Sobrang dami na. Sobrang amazing, nakaka-proud. They won their own challenges and became their own champions. Na makukuha mo rin if you stick to this journey until week number 15. Ilang weeks na lang. And all the amazing results you've seen, they are already included in the Kaizen 100-day Transformation Club or yung Hall of Fame natin. Ang sarap masama dito, don't you think? So itong 100-day Transformation Club, nakuha ko tong idea na to dito sa isang mentor, marketer si Russell Brunson. So meron siyang program, yung tinatawag yung ClickFunnels, software yun. So ang idea, pag ginamit mo yung product niya, you get 1 million in sales, pwede ka mag-apply sa Tukama Club niya. Maka-join ka sa club niya. Kung saan you will get rewarded, ito bibigyan niya sa'yo, and marirecognize ka for doing this amazing feat na may status symbol. May patunay na na-reach mo yung milestone na yun. So itong 2 Comma Club or 100-Day Transformation Club, galing to sa story ni Roger Bannister noong 1950s. Where nagawa niyang matapos yung 1-mile run in just 4 minutes. Ayun yung tinatawag nilang 4-minute mile. Ang belief kasi before is walang makakagawa ng ganun. Na hindi raw capable ang human body. And even doctors that time were saying that. Then when Roger Bannister broke this record, ang dami nang sumunod after him. Yung 1 month after that, meron na agad. And then the next month, and the next month, and the next month. Because the limiting belief that it cannot be done was shattered. And from there, people just kept setting new records. So yan yung gusto ko mangyari dito sa Kaizen 100-Day Challenge natin. Itong 100-Day Transformation Club natin. Pag nakita kasi ng mga tao na nagawa mo in 100 days, you will install the belief in them na kaya rin nila. Na possible pala yun. So bakit mo kami gusto manalo, coach? What's in it for you? Bakit ko nga ba ginagawa to? So if you will remember, yung vision ko, shinare ko na to, lesson 1, webinar. And sabi ko doon, to not just introduce, but make personal development a big part of Filipinos' lives so they can live one to the fullest, so they can make the most of it, so they can have more options on how to navigate the world than just settling for mediocrity or the norm. I want to empower people to want and achieve more, and I want to do this starting with fitness, which I think is the best starting point of all. Kasi fitness, katawan natin, yan lang naman talaga yung meron tayong full control eh. And ang mission to achieve this vision is to transform 100,000 Filipinos. Ito yung manifesto ko, kung nabasa nyo, nasa ano to, character worksheet. Example to doon. So ang root nito is really not just about transforming bodies. It's just a bridge. A bridge for the big milestone na gusto kong mangyari, na gusto kong ma-achieve in this lifetime. So ang gusto kong mangyari talaga is yung tinatawag kong radical proactivity. Ibig sabihin yan, the practice of always being proactive in all areas of life. No exception. So yan yung gusto kong mangyari sa Pilipinas, sa buong mundo even. So well, ano ba yung proactivity? Ano ba ibig sabihin yan? In simplest term, it's taking responsibility. It's ownership. So yung namit ko si Sarah Suyom, Coach Sarah, nagulat ako dun sa pagka-parallel ng vision namin. Because one of our pillars is yung tinatawag niyang radical self-responsibility. So it basically means almost the same thing. And if the definition isn't clear yet to you, ito yung sabi ni Stephen Covey, author ng sobrang life-changing book na 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Sabi niya, being proactive is more than taking initiative. It is recognizing that we are responsible for our own choices and have the freedom to choose based on principles and values rather than on moods or condition. Proactive people are agents of change and choose not to be victims, to be reactive or to blame others. So to hammer this point, let me introduce to you the concept of locus of control. Anyone familiar? So it's also similar to being proactive and reactive. So when you are proactive, this means when you are proactive or when you have internal locus of control, ibig sabihin yan, you believe that you make things happen. Ikaw ang may control. And therefore, ikaw ang responsible. On the other hand, when you are reactive, then it means na meron kang external locus of control. Itong nasa right. And when you're here, you believe that things happen to you. The results that you get are dependent sa kung anong nangyayari externally. So another diagram to hit the point home. So internal locus of control or yung pagiging proactive, it's from inside to outside. Palabas. You determine your fate, therefore, ikaw ang nasa control. And external naman, external locus of control or being reactive, it's from outside to inside. Paloob siya. Your life happens to you rather than due to you. And dito, wala kang control. You feel like wala kang control. Are you getting this? So difference is yung sa left, merong self-responsibility. Whatever happens, I contributed to it. Therefore, I can also think of solutions. Dito sa right, possibly, maliit lang yung self-responsibility or wala. Ganito kasi yung government, yung parents ko, yung workmates ko, yung religion ko, yung market. Laging merong ibang may kasalanan bukod sa sarili niya. Papakita tayo examples. Ito yung sabi sa 7 Habits sa book. Habit number 1, be proactive. You are the creator and in charge. O proactive language. Let's look at our alternatives. I can choose a different approach. I have control over my own feelings. I will choose an appropriate response. I choose, I prefer. Reactive language. There's nothing I can do. That's just the way I am. Ganito na talaga ako. Hindi na ako magbabago. That makes me so mad. Hindi mo dapat ginawa yan. I have to do that. I can't. I must. Some more examples. Proactive or internal locus of control. Ito yung language niya. I'm responsible. I take the blame. I will keep trying. There's a way out in this situation. External locus of control or yung reactive language niya, it's fate. Wala na akong magagawa dyan. Ito yung tinadhana ko. I succeeded because it was easy. Hindi dahil magaling ako, hindi dahil in-effortan ko. The world is like that. We can't do anything about this. Nakita niyo yung difference? So may self-responsibility at ownership to. Dito, puro sisi lang. Puro external lang. Ayan, more example. Breakup. Let's say, kaka-break lang. Ang reactive na tao, yun sabihin niya. His or her fault. Kasalanan niya. Iniwan niya ako. Bait-bait ko sa kanya. Ginawa ko lahat. He should do this and that. She should make me happy. Ang proactive na tao, may self-responsibility. Sabi niya, may kasalanan din ako. Hindi naman siya makikipag-break kung perfect yung relationship. At hindi naman ako perfect. I could have been a better partner. I will work on myself and do better next time. See the difference? Sisi, self-responsible. Fitness naman. Ang reactive, language niya, kasalanan to ng lahi namin, tabahin kami, wala na akong magagawa. Lagi ako inaay ng tropa kumain. Laging lockdown, kaya hindi ako makapag-gym. Yung boss ko, lagi may pinapagawa, kaya wala akong time sa fitness na yan. Laging may kasalanan, bukod sa kanya. Ang proactive na tao, again, may ownership. Regardless of what my genes give me, I can still do something to improve my body. I can choose to say no sa invite ng friends ko kung nasasabot tayo mga goals ko. I can do home workouts using bands or even body weight. Kahit lockdown, okay lang. May magagawa pa rin ako. I can always do something about any situation. Ako ang may control. Therefore, I will do something na magsaserve sa akin. So which side are you leaning on right now? Proactive or reactive? Probably some of you na-realize, ang dami pala nating reactivity sa katawan. Pala reklamo pala tayo. Ayaw pala natin mag-take responsibility. Puro lang pala tayo sisi. And ako rin, si Coach Cho, I still have a long way to go. May mga life areas ako na ang dami ko pang inuunti-unting ayusin na reactive parts. So lahat tayo guilty dito. And ang next question natin, saan ba natin gusto pumunta? Which side would you want your life to be? Will you wait for external factors to dictate your life? Or will you be the one taking charge? Let me know in the chat. Again, another quote from Stephen. Sobrang ganda nito. Sabi niya, look at the word responsibility. It's response-ability / ability. Dash ability. The ability to choose your response. Highly proactive people recognize that responsibility. They do not blame circumstances, conditions, or conditioning for their behavior. Their behavior is a product of their own conscious choice based on values rather than a product of their conditions based on feeling. Ang ganda, di ba? Okay, Coach. Sold na ako sa pagiging proactive. Pero, paano ba maging proactive? Paano ba mag-take ownership at responsibility sa mga bagay-bagay? Kasi ang lakas talaga ng trigger ko sa mga ganito sa ganyan sa ibang tao So, simple lang, but it's not easy. So, simple but not easy. Sabi nga ni Viktor Frankl, author ng Man's Search for Meaning, sabi niya, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. So the how of being proactive lies here, dito sa gap na to. Para maging proactive tayo, para mapalakas natin yung proactivity muscles natin, kailangan natin palawakin tong gap na to. Train ourselves to create this space. So this is outside of scope na, but you do that by doing inner work, self-reflecting, being more aware of your patterns and behaviors, yung mga triggers mo. Sa akin, nag-work dyan, meditating. Big help talaga. Journaling. Kasi pag nag-journal tayo, doon lang tayo pumapasok sa loob. Diba? Usually, majority ng tao, naka-rely lang yan sa external factors. Hindi sila pumapasok sa kanila. Wala silang introspection. Wala silang pagka-question ng, bakit ba ganito yung response ko? Bakit ba ganito ako? Kaya yun yung silbi ng journaling. Doon siya nakakatulong. Then another, building the habit of always taking a pause and breathing before responding. So doing those, mapalaki mo yung space between. And your response will be of choice rather than from reactivity. So pag by choice, ibig sabihin proactive kasi ikaw yung namili ng response mo. Tama? Kasi itong stimulus, hindi naman to laging in control natin eh. Example niyan, weather. Example niyan, yung actions ng government. Example niyan, yung reaction sa mga ibang tao. Yung opinion sila. We will always encounter things na hindi quote-unquote favorable for us and that are outside of our control. And kung reliant ka dun, sa favorable conditions, sa magandang sasabihin lagi ng tao sa'yo, then, nasa losing battle ka. Kasi hindi mo naman sila makokontrol. Tama? So, ang power natin lies in how we choose to respond. In how we choose to interpret the situation and make it favorable for us. So in relation to that radical proactivity thing, and explain ko lang yung meaning ng pagiging proactive and yung simple how na yon, gusto ko siya i-relate dito sa bakit ko ginagawa to. Bakit ba ito yung vision ko? Bakit ba gusto ko magkaroon ng radical proactivity dito sa Pilipinas or even sa buong mundo? Kasi naniniwala ako sa mga bagay na to. If a person has the desire to improve his body, then in his core, he or she must also have the desire to improve his or her life as a whole. Would you agree? Pag gusto natin baguhin yung katawan natin, automatic, may desire tayo na improve yung confidence natin, yung status natin, yung health natin, yung energy natin. Para magawa natin to, magawa natin yan. At gusto natin, ma-enjoy yung buhay ng mas, to a higher degree. Kasi pag healthy tayo, di ba? Ang laki ng effect niyan. Mag-improve yung life natin as a whole. The next belief, how we do one thing is how we do everything. If we're reactive in one area, there's a proclivity or higher chance to be reactive in other areas as well. The next belief, connecting that, the way to improve one's body and life, one has to practice his or her proactivity muscles and truly embody the it's all my fault mindset. Therefore, if we can transform our bodies, the only thing we have full control of, we also level up our proactivity as a whole that we find ourselves working on other areas of our lives as well. Kasi naniniwala na tayo na kaya naman pala natin. Kasi nagawa nga natin sa katawan natin eh. Diba? Yung belief na ma-install natin na kaya ko rin yun, kaya ko rin gawin to dun sa area na yun. Matataas siya. Okay? Gets yun? So whenever meron pa tayong blaming, reactivity parts, sa ibang tao, sisi sa institutions, situations, people, or to whatever entity pa yan, then ibig sabihin nun, we're giving our power away. So if we're giving our power away, at inaalis natin sa sarili natin yung responsibility to change our own lives, even for a little, ang nangyayari sa subconscious natin, sinasabi natin na hindi na tayo kikilos. Kasi naniniwala tayo na wala naman sa atin yung control. Wala naman sa atin yung power. So bakit pa tayo kilos? Hindi tayo kilos. Ang gagawin natin, aantayin na lang natin magbago yung external factor na yun para baguhin tayo. Kung yun, so aawayin natin kung tao man yun, kung entities ba yun, kung faction ba yun, kung group ba yun, government ba yun, aawayin natin sila para baguhin tayo. Kasi binigay natin yung power natin sa kanila. Okay? Gets nyo yun? Yun yung reactivity. So yun yung goal ko. Trigger natin yung desire mo to improve your body at ikalat natin sa improvement mo overall. Simulan natin sa fitness, kalat natin sa ibang areas. Then i-train natin yung proactivity muscles mo. By doing this, dahil doon mo lang, mababago yung buhay mo. By taking ownership. Owning everything that you do. It's all my fault. So ito yung mga beliefs ko regarding my vision. And you will see how important being proactive is for me. And it's why the core values, one of the core values of my company, the Lazy Lifter, kasama dito yung proactivity. It's taking responsibility and owning everything. I always tell my people that the results of the students is our responsibility. Kahit isipin na iba na hindi. Ako namin yan. Because that's what we're here for, to give you results. Now, connecting that, ito yung napansin ko sa own journey ko nung nagpo-pursue ako ng fitness at sa mga journey ng ibang tao na ginaid ko. At ito rin yung gusto kong mangyari sa Kaizen, sa inyo. So stage 1, dito ako galing, I still remember the old days. Sabi ko, I can't do it. Kasi ganito, kasi ganyan, kasi ganun. I blames everything but myself. Wala akong ownership.